Hello people, I'm the Urich Comic Book Gamer. Today I'm going to be talking about the spoilers in Daredevil because I already did my review where I didn't talk about spoilers at all, but now I'm going full in depth for it. So if you have not seen the show, leave now, and if you don't care, then yeah, I'm starting now. First thing I want to talk about is Kingpin, because it actually brought humanity to Kingpin, which was very surprising, because, you know, I'm used to the big fat Kingpin that just, like, is evil. That's plain and simple. There's no, like, you know, blurred line. It's just, you know, he's evil. But in this, they actually made me feel sorry for Kingpin. I wanted Kingpin to succeed in some areas, which was very surprising. I like seeing that. I was like, holy crap, I actually care about Kingpin. I couldn't believe it. And Vincent D'Onofrio did such a great job displaying his emotions and how he talked different a lot. He would change talking all the time, and I actually liked that. I thought it was cool. Also, this show does borrow some stuff from Arrow Season 1. Not saying that in a bad way. What it takes from Arrow Season 1, it does really well with. For instance, with Kingpin, he believes that what he's doing to the city is a necessary evil. He thinks, you know, he knows it's bad, but he thinks it'll help the city. Same with Merlin in Season 1 of Arrow, where he's like, oh, I'm destroying the Glades. That'll help the city, and it also gives me my revenge. Some other stuff they borrowed was the best friend finding out, you know, how Foggy found out just like Tommy did in Arrow, and then he suddenly hates his best friend. Same exact thing happened in Arrow, and I don't like that in either show. I want them for once to be like, holy crap, you dress up in a mask and beat people up and do flips? That's awesome! Because, you know, every time these people just overreact like, you're this guy that did all this stuff, you go around, you help the city, that's so terrible. It's like, come on. Even though there were the rumors that Daredevil shot some cops and blew up a building that Foggy was believing, even though, like, Karen was telling him no, because Karen, because, you know, Daredevil helped Karen, and I think no, was it, I don't remember if the reporter, yeah, the reporter did say that, like, he came up and helped him, and he still is like, oh, he's a terrorist, and then he finds out it's Matt. Shouldn't he be like, oh, okay, I know they're framing you now because I've known you for so long. Even though you kept this one thing secret from me, I can understand, and it's awesome that you're Daredevil. But instead, he just freaks out. Same with Tommy and Arrow, and I didn't like that. That's one thing that I wish they wouldn't have borrowed. I wish it would have been more like a smoother transition. Like, Foggy be shocked at first and be like, okay, this is cool. But instead, he just freaked out. Which, you know, is a little bit understandable in the fact that Matt Murdock is blind, but he still should have been more understanding. I didn't like that. But that was pretty much all they borrowed from Arrow. But yeah, I said in my review that this was Frank Miller's Daredevil, which it is, but the one aspect I wasn't able to talk about in review was the fact that this Daredevil will not kill. Frank Miller's Daredevil did not want to kill, but would. For instance, at the very end of The Man Without Fear, the guy shooting at Daredevil, Daredevil's like, I don't want to kill you, so he deflects a bullet down at the ground, giving him a warning shot. The guy shoots at him again, he deflects the bullet straight to his head. He could have easily gotten out of that situation without killing him. He could have deflected the bullet straight back into the gun or into the hand that was holding the gun, and then gotten to him before the guy could hurt the girl. Because, you know, in that situation, it was a hostage situation. He had the girl, and he could have easily deflected the bullet into, you know, like I said, the gun or the gun hand. But instead, he decided to deflect it into his face. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's showing that he is willing to kill, to where this Daredevil was not. While he was willing to go an inch from killing them, like when he put that one guy in a coma, he still would not kill. And this, but Frank Miller's Daredevil was fine with killing, not going around murder sprees, but would do it if he had to. Or, well, even if he didn't have to, he'd just do it if he felt like it was necessary, is, I guess, the best way to put it. Now, Night Nurse is a character I forgot to touch on in my review. I loved Night Nurse. I thought she was awesome. I loved her character. She was a great supporting character in the show, and I loved seeing her around. And I just thought they handled Night Nurse really well. Also, the reporter, Ben Urich. I liked him. I thought he was pretty cool. And then when they killed him, I was like, no, that was so intense. And I love that scene where Kingpin's just sitting in his apartment. It's like, he's calm, collective, and he's just talking to him. And you see, it seems like they might have a mutual respect. And then, like, he just leaves the room. But instead, he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Because, you know, he's like, you know how many people threaten me? And then Kingpin just murders him. Was like, holy crap. That was awesome, but I hated it. I was very conflicted because I really liked Ben Urich, and I really wanted them to keep him on the show, but when they killed him, I was like, this is cool, but I'm conflicted because I thought it was cool that the show did it, but I didn't like it because I liked Ben Urich. And yeah, that guy also had an awesome voice. The dude who played him was awesome. Like that one scene where he's writing his report and he's narrating everything that's happening with Wilson Fisk. That was so cool. the guy has such a cool voice, and that shows something, guts. That shows that Disney now has guts, because obviously in the main Marvel MCU, they don't have any guts. Everyone comes straight back to life. Ben Urich, sorry, he's dead. He was kind of like the Coulson death in this, because, you know, in Avengers, Coulson death rallied the Avengers, and this, Ben Urich's death kind of rallied Daredevil and his crew to actually do something, and so I like that. That was pretty cool to see. Now, the biggest complaint that I have with this show that I was not able to talk about before because it's a spoiler is the death of Wesley. I hated how that was handled. I liked Wesley. I thought his character was done really well, and the guy who played him did a fantastic job. But then the way they killed him, how Karen just reached for the gun and then killed him, I thought that was so stupid. Someone as cool and calculated as Wesley just puts a gun on the table and she reaches for it and kills him. That was so stupid. I hated that. That was the one thing, because before that, up till that, I was like, okay, this show is like a 10 out of 10 for me. But then that happened, I was like, yeah, that was stupid, because Wesley was a really good character, and I like seeing him. I would be fine with Wesley dying, just not like that. How he died was stupid. Now, that combined with some other things I didn't like about the show, like little nitpicks, and like I said before, I don't think they handled Foggy Nelson and Matt Murdock's relationship in the present real well, because there was no reason really for them to be friends. They just seemed like co-workers. There was no really development of that relationship, but I already talked about that in my Daredevil review video. But yeah, the death of Wesley was my only really big gripe, and it was a big one, because I liked Wesley, and the way they killed him was stupid. Again, fine killing him some other way. The way he died was just stupid. Now back to Ben Urich and Karen, because I liked seeing them investigate things. I thought it was done really well, and Arrow needs to learn from this show on how to do its side characters. This show did a great job of splitting it up between Daredevil and its side characters. Originally, when they just went on, Karen was like investigating things. I was like, okay, get back to Daredevil, please. I don't care about this. And then it started getting interesting. I was like, okay, I like this. And then Ben Urich came in, and I was like, okay, I'm digging this side storyline. I still prefer what Daredevil's doing, but I'm content with this. I'm fine with seeing it. To where Arrow goes off and shows you whatever Laurel and Felicity and everyone else is doing. It's like, I really want to see what Oliver's doing. Please don't show me all this crap that I don't care about. Daredevil handles their side characters really well, and they keep them as side characters. They're not like main characters. They are side characters. They're the, bigger than everyone else in the show, but they are side characters, and Daredevil handled the side characters really, really well. I loved how they handled them. Two fights I was not able to talk about in my past video that I'm going to talk about now are, number one, the Yakuza clan. Well, when he fought the leader of the Yakuza clan, I thought that was really cool, seeing a guy that can finally match up to Daredevil's skills, and he was beating the living crap out of him. That was so cool, because up until then there were some guys that were, good fighters, but they weren't on the level of Daredevil. This guy was definitely there, and that was really cool. And then the fight with Kingpin was also pretty good. I liked that. But at the beginning, for some reason, the sound effects just sounded weak. I don't know why, but every time someone got punched, the sound effects sounded weak. I didn't like it, but it was a really cool fight, and the way Kingpin fights is awesome. I thought they nailed it, how he just sort of fought like a bull. It was so cool. He was very destructive and awesome, and I just thought they nailed Kingpin in the fighting department and in every other department like I was talking about earlier. Something that I thought was really interesting was the fact that we got to see the origin of Kingpin in this show, because a lot of times with the villains, they'll be like, hey, here's one time where you get to see how the villain got their powers or whatever, and then they're automatically the villain that we all know. They're just automatically there. But in this, they built him up. They showed us the origin. He wasn't really Kingpin till the final episode. Up until then, it was the building of Kingpin, and then we saw the monster unleashed, and it was awesome. I loved it. And the leading up to that battle with Kingpin in the final episode was really good. The season finale, how everything just came falling down for Kingpin when they got the corrupted cop to speak. That was so cool, seeing all the FBI go around, take everyone down, and get Kingpin. And then on the bridge, Kingpin's men broke him out. That was really good. I loved it. It was so cool. The season finale was amazing. So yeah, those are my full spoiler thoughts on Daredevil. Sorry about the fact that there was no new podcast episode yesterday. I'm going to try and get up later this week. Just been busy and everything's been hectic, so I'll try to get up. Sorry about that. Also, let me know in the comments below what are your guys' thoughts on Daredevil. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like.